Hey guys! Today we're doing a little bit of a different challenge. We'll reimagine my self-Sona as if she were in other medias. With that being said, and because I have nothing else to say about it, let's get on to the video. Firstly, let's imagine what Sterling would look like if she was in a Tim Burton film. Here are obviously my references. This piece probably took me around 2 hours. I think really the reason is that I was getting over being very sick, and so I had the post-sick motivation, and so somebody put a fire underneath my butt and I got really motivated. I also got motivated because, spooky season. I think the reason why this style was so easy in my brain was because it really boiled down to simple shapes, exaggerated features and proportions, and to top that all off, I added sharp edges and these swirl shapes wherever I could. Also, I realized that I had to think of this as more of a clay sculpture, but in 2D form, I guess. So, as a stylistic preference, I made the line art very sketchy, kind of like Tim Burton's concept drawings, and varied it in some areas. All I did for her colors is that I took the same ones from the original and I altered them a tad by making her skin paler and her dress more dull, which you'll see me fix in a minute. For one of my concept drawings, I had an idea right off the bat that I wanted something that was a little bit more Nightmare Before Christmas themed and also tie into her shape-shifting abilities. So that's the reason for the drawing in the left corner. Ta-da! Final piece. Yay! Next up, an anime, which is actually one of my favorite animes, Soul Eater. Here's the concept board. So I watched this anime when I was much younger, and for a week after I finished it, I made drawings of my Soul Eater OC, but it never looked quite right because my little 12-year-old brain didn't understand that not drawing it in the style made it not look right. So after all this time, it feels so nostalgic revisiting this concept and finally making it look the way it looked like in my head, onto paper, or digital paper anyway. For her design, I wanted to switch up her outfit design a little bit to make it more of a uniform because I wanted her to go to the DWMA. I still kept her hat, her shoes, and added little moon accessories and a tie. And I also made her weapon, a glaive to be exact, which is like a giant axe. It's kind of hard for me to explain, so it's better if you just look it up. The line art was thin and with no variation. For the colors, I kept true to the original design, but added some grays and some yellows for those little added accents. I realized these characters are a lot more detailed and a lot more complicated than, I would ever go to, but that's the reason for the added color and the added accessories and all that. To top it all off with her soul and some simple shading, the final art piece is done. Our final challenge for today is the Gorillaz style. Now, this is one I think about a lot too, just because I listen to Gorillaz all the time. But in the past, I always thought, it is a really complicated, style. Mainly for the fact that it's so recognizable and that it's realistic in some aspects, but very disproportionate in others, like the body and the face being very stylized. And oh boy, was I right, because this one is the one I futzed with the most, because the style is all over the place and it varies from album to album. So instead of doing small drawings of her with a different facial expression or in a different pose, I did little drawings of what my character would look like as if she was in other albums. Also, if you notice, my self-Sona looks a little different because I drew this in a way that was more realistic to how I look like in real life as opposed to how I look like online. This includes my real hair color showing through, realistic hands, actual outfits and accessories I have in real life, and an actual pair of shoes that I own. And don't get me started on the color palette. It was really all over the place. I was just trying to get the colors as close as I can to my real outfits. Also, at the last second, I added my magic eye because I thought it had the similar vibe of 2D and Russell's eyes. Boy, we hit everything today. Films, TV shows, and music. Hope you guys like my attempts at different styles. Tell me if they're accurate or not, and what else you would like to see my character in.
Also, stay tuned for Bed Shadows Episode 4, coming soon.
Anyway, that's all I have for now. Goodbye and good night. Okay. Nope. Just okay. That's fine. I really thought of it as just shrimple? Shrimp didn't fry that rice. Character, if and for a week after I finished the season, that sounded horrible. Okay, next. I can't say next for some reason.